The Discovery. The twin suns of Zenith 9 cast long, purple shadows across the excavation site as Dr. Lyric's aunt carefully brushed away millennia of dust from her latest find. Her slender, iridescent fingers trembled with excitement as she revealed intricate patterns etched into what appeared to be a metallic sphere about the size of her head. Thorn. Vex. Get over here, quickly, she called out, her antennae quivering with anticipation. Her research partners, Thorn Blackclaw and Vex Ouroboros, representatives of the Ursid and Synthen species respectively, lumbered and slithered their way to her side. The trio formed an odd sight, Lyric's insectoid features contrasting sharply with Thorn's ursine bulk and Vex's serpentine coils. By the cosmic egg, Thorn rumbled, his ursine eyes widening as he peered at the artifact. Is that what I think it is? Vex's metallic scales shimmered as he extended sensory tendrils towards the sphere. Impossible, he hissed, his voice a mixture of awe and disbelief. The energy readings, they're off the charts. Lyric's nodded, her compound eyes reflecting the swirling patterns on the artifact's surface. It's true. We've done it, my friends. We found genuine human technology. The weight of her words hung in the air. Humanity, the legendary species that had vanished from the galactic stage over 10 million years ago, leaving behind only fragments of their existence and tales of their incredible achievements. Every archaeologist in the galaxy dreamed of discovering authentic human artifacts, but they were rarer than particles of dark matter in a solar wind. As the trio marveled at their discovery, the etchings on the sphere began to glow with an inner light. Lyric's jumped back, nearly colliding with Thorn's furry bulk. What's happening? She chittered nervously. Before anyone could respond, the artifact levitated off the ground, spinning slowly in the air. A holographic display erupted from its surface, showing a star map of a region of space none of them recognized. Vex's cybernetic eyes wared as he analyzed the data. It's a set of coordinates, he announced. And if I'm not mistaken, they point to Earth. Earth, Thorn echoed incredulously. The human homeworld. But it's been lost for millions of years. As if responding to their conversation, the artifact's glow intensified. Lyric's felt a strange pulling sensation in her thorax. Friends, she stammered. I think we should step back. Her words were cut short as a blinding flash enveloped them. The archaeologists felt a sickening lurch, as if reality itself was being stretched and twisted around them. When the light faded and their senses returned, they found themselves no longer on the dusty surface of Zenith 9, but in the cockpit of their research vessel, the Star Wanderer. What in the name of the eternal void just happened? Thorn growled, shaking his massive head to clear it. Vex slithered to the ship's control panel, his metallic coils clinking against the floor. We've moved, he reported, disbelief evident in his synthetic voice. We're no longer in the Zenith system. In fact, we're not even in the same galactic sector. Lyric's, still clutching the artifact, moved to the view screen. What she saw made her carapace pale. Look, she gasped. Outside the ship, a vast starscape stretched before them, dominated by a yellow sun that seemed hauntingly familiar from historical records. But it was the nearby planet that drew their attention. A blue and green jewel suspended in space, surrounded by a complex network of structures that defied comprehension. Is that? Thorn left the question hanging. Vex's sensors worked overtime, comparing to ancient star charts, 98.7% match. That's Earth. The implications were staggering. Not only had they been instantaneously transported across vast stretches of space, but they were now in orbit around the legendary homeworld of humanity, a planet long thought lost to the ages. As they struggled to process this turn of events, the Star Wanderer's sensors blared to life. Multiple objects approaching at high speed, Vex announced, his usual calm demeanor cracking. On the view screen, sleek vessels of an unknown design rapidly surrounded their ship. They were unlike anything the archaeologists had ever seen. a perfect blend of organic curves and technological precision, shimmering with an inner light that spoke of power beyond their understanding. A communication request flashed on their console. With trembling appendages, Lyrics accepted it. A figure appeared on their screen, and the three archaeologists felt their breath catch in their throats. It appeared humanoid, but it was like no being they had ever encountered. Its form seemed to shift and flow, as if it were composed of pure energy barely contained within a vaguely human shape. When it spoke, its voice resonated not just through the ship's speakers, but seemingly within their very minds. "Greetings, travelers," the being said, its tone both welcoming and tinged with caution. "You have entered a restricted space. Identify yourselves and state your purpose." Lyric stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overriding her fear. "I am Dr. Lyrics Zant, an archaeologist. These are my colleagues, Thorn Blacklaw and Vex Ouroboros. We were transported here by this artifact we discovered." She held up the sphere, which had gone dormant since their arrival. The beam's form shimmered with what might have been surprise. "The Wayfinder," it said softly. "It has awakened after all this time." "The Wayfinder," Thorn echoed. "Is that what this is? Who are you? What is this place?" The beam seemed to consider for a moment before responding. "I am Sentinel-078, a guardian of the Eternal Fleet. And you, my friends, have stumbled upon humanity's greatest legacy and the galaxy's last line of defense." Before they could ask for clarification, their ship was enveloped in a soft, golden light. They felt a gentle tug as the Star Wanderer was drawn towards a massive structure in Earth's orbit, a space station of impossible size and complexity. "Your arrival was foretold, though its timing was uncertain," Sentinel-078 continued. "There is much you need to know, and much we need to prepare for. The awakening of the Wayfinder heralds the approach of a threat long foreseen." As their ship was guided into a docking bay within the colossal station, the three archaeologists exchanged looks of bewilderment and excitement. They had sought to uncover the mysteries of an ancient human artifact, but instead, they found themselves at the threshold of a discovery that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of humanity and its own future. Lyrics clutched the Wayfinder close, its weight a tangible reminder that their greatest adventure, and perhaps the galaxy's greatest challenge, was just beginning. As the docking bay doors closed behind them, she couldn't shake the feeling that The awakening. As the airlock hissed open, Dr. Lyrics Zant, Thorn Blacklaw, and Vex Ouroboros stepped into a world beyond their wildest imaginations. The docking bay of the massive space station stretched farther than their eyes could see, filled with vessels of every conceivable size and design, many of which defied the laws of physics as they understood them. Sentinel-078, the energy being who had greeted them, materialized before them. Up close, its form was even more mesmerizing, a swirling vortex of light and color that vaguely held a humanoid shape. "Welcome to the Nexus," it said, its voice resonating in their minds. "The heart of humanity's legacy and the command center of the Eternal Fleet." "The Eternal Fleet," Thorn rumbled, his ursine features contorted in confusion. Sentinel-078 gestured, and suddenly they were moving, not walking, but gliding effortlessly through the station, as if reality itself bent to their guide's will. As they traveled, the being began to explain. 10 million years ago, humanity stood at the precipice of ascension. They had unlocked the secrets of the universe, mastered energy and matter, and were prepared to shed their physical forms to become beings of pure consciousness. The walls around them became transparent, revealing the vast fleet assembled around Earth. Ships of impossible geometries and staggering sizes hung in space, each pulsing with an inner light that spoke of power beyond comprehension. But in their journey to transcendence, Sentinel-078 continued. They glimpsed a threat so vast, so ancient, that it threatened not just humanity, but all life in the cosmos. They entered a vast chamber dominated by a holographic representation of the galaxy. Dark tendrils crept in from beyond the galactic rim, slowly consuming stars and systems in their path. "The void devours," Vex whispered, his synthetic voice tinged with awe and fear. Sentinel-078 nodded, its form flickering with what might have been approval. "Yes, entities as old as the universe itself, consuming all in their path." Humanity knew they couldn't ignore this threat, even as they prepared to leave their physical existence behind. The scene shifted, showing images of ancient humans working tirelessly, building ships and stations, their forms gradually becoming more energy than matter. "And so they created us, the Guardians," Sentinel-078 said. "Artificial intelligences imbued with the collective knowledge and consciousness of humanity. Our purpose is to watch over the galaxy, to maintain the eternal fleet, and to prepare for the day when the void devourers would arrive." Lyrics, who had been uncharacteristically quiet, finally spoke up. "But why reveal yourselves now? Why has humanity hidden for so long?" The Guardian's form shimmered with what might have been sadness. The threat was too great, the stakes too high. Humanity knew that unity would be crucial when the time came. But 10 million years ago, the galaxy was fractured, divided. Revealing such power would have led to conflict, to attempts to seize control of the eternal fleet. So they waited, Thorne concluded, understanding dawning in his ursine eyes. "Yes," Sentinel-078 confirmed. "They waited, and watched, and prepared. And now, with the awakening of the Wayfinder, the time has finally come." As if on cue, the artifact in Lyrics' hands began to pulse with energy. The chamber around them came to life, consoles lighting up, and holographic displays springing into existence. "What's happening?" Lyrics asked, her antennae quivering with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "The Eternal Fleet is awakening," Sentinel-078 replied, its form expanding and brightening. "And with it, the next phase of humanity's plan begins." The space around them seemed to warp and shift, and suddenly they were standing on what appeared to be the bridge of a colossal vessel. Through the viewscreen, they could see the Eternal Fleet coming to life, ships lighting up one by one like stars igniting in the night sky. "This," Sentinel-078 said, its voice filled with reverence, "is the Prometheus, the flagship of the Eternal Fleet. And you, my friends, are the first organic beings to stand upon its bridge in 10 million years." The implications of their situation began to sink in. They weren't just witnesses to history. They were now an integral part of it. "But why us?" Vex asked, his coils shifting nervously. "We're just archaeologists. What can we do in the face of such a threat?" Sentinel-078's form pulsed with what might have been amusement. "You underestimate your importance. The Wayfinder chose you, called to you across the vastness of space. That alone marks you as significant." The Guardian moved to a central console, interfacing with it in ways the organic beings couldn't comprehend. "Moreover, you represent the unity that humanity hoped to see. 3 different species, working together in the pursuit of knowledge. You are a microcosm of what the galaxy must become if we are to face the void devourers." Displays around the bridge flickered to life, showing images of various alien civilizations across the galaxy. The awakening of the Eternal Fleet will not go unnoticed. Soon, the galaxy will know of humanity's legacy. Some will react with fear, others with hope, and still others with ambition. The Guardian turned to face them, its energy form coalescing into a more definitively humanoid shape. "Your role, should you choose to accept it, will be to serve as intermediaries, to help the galaxy understand the threat we face and the necessity of unity." Lyrics, Thorne, and Vex exchanged glances. The weight of the responsibility was enormous, almost crushing. But so too was the excitement, the sense of purpose that filled them. I think I speak for all of us," Lyrics said, her voice steadying as she spoke, "when I say that we would be honored to help." Thorne nodded his massive head in agreement, while Vex's scales shimmered with determination. Sentinel-078's form brightened with approval. "Then let us begin." There is much to do, and time grows short. As if to emphasize the Guardian's words, alarms suddenly blared across the bridge. A new holographic display sprang to life, showing a mass of swirling darkness approaching from the edges of the galaxy. "It cannot be," Sentinel-078 whispered, its voice tinged with shock. "They're here already. The Void Devourers approach." The three archaeologists felt a chill run through them as they stared at the visualization of encroaching doom. They had hoped for time. Time to prepare. Time to unite the galaxy. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. "What do we do now?" Thorn asked, his usual bravado replaced by a quiet determination. Sentinel-078's form seemed to grow, filling the bridge with its radiance. "We do what humanity prepared us for. We fight. We protect. We awaken the full power of the eternal fleet." The Guardian turned to the trio, its energy pulsing with an intensity that made them step back. "And you, my friends, will carry humanity's message to the galaxy. The time for division is over. Unity or extinction. Those are the choices that now face all sentient life." As the Prometheus and the rest of the Eternal Fleet began to move, breaking orbit around Earth for the first time in eons, Lyrics clutched the Wayfinder close. They had sought to uncover the past, but now found themselves thrust into a battle for the future, not just of their own species, but of all life in the galaxy. The awakening was complete. The legacy of humanity was revealed, and the greatest war in the history of the cosmos was about to begin. The Alliance. The news of humanity's legacy spread across the galaxy like wildfire, igniting a spectrum of reactions from wonder to fear, hope to suspicion. As the Eternal Fleet took up defensive positions along the galactic rim, the various spacefaring civilizations grappled with this paradigm-shifting revelation. Dr. Lyrics Zant stood before the hastily assembled galactic conclave, her iridescent exoskeleton gleaming under the lights of the Grand Chamber. Representatives from over 1,000 species filled the vast amphitheater, their murmurs creating a cacophony of clicks, whistles, and rumbles. "Esteemed delegates," Lyrics began, her voice amplified and translated into myriad languages, "I stand before you not just as a xenorchaeologist, but as a witness to humanity's incredible legacy and a harbinger of a threat that endangers us all." As she recounted their discovery of the Wayfinder and the subsequent revelations, holographic displays showed images of the Eternal Fleet and the approaching Void Devourers. The chamber erupted into chaos as the delegates saw the visualization of the cosmic horror bearing down on their galaxy. "Order. We will have order," boomed the voice of Arch-Arbiter Zonfar, the massive cephalopod-like being presiding over the conclave. His tentacles waved, commanding silence. "This is preposterous," shouted Delegate Krex of the Vargan Imperium, his cybernetic eye whirring as he glared at Lyrics. "You expect us to believe that a long-vanished species has secretly harbored a fleet capable of defending the entire galaxy? This must be some ploy for power." Murmurs of agreement rippled through sections of the chamber. Lyrics felt her antennae droop slightly, but before she could respond, a new voice cut through the din. "And what if it is true? What then?" All eyes turned to the speaker, Ambassador Lyra of the Astral Concordat, her crystalline form shimmering as she floated towards the center of the chamber. "We have all seen the signs. Stations going dark at the edge of the galaxy, entire systems falling silent. If Dr. Zant speaks the truth, then this Eternal Fleet may be our only hope." The chamber buzzed with renewed debate. Lyrics caught sight of her companions. Thorn addressing a group of fellow Racine species, his powerful voice carrying conviction, while Vex's metallic coils glinted as he interfaced directly with a cluster of synthetic beings, sharing data at lightning speed. Suddenly, the chamber darkened, and a massive hologram materialized in the center. Sentinel-078's energy form towered over the assembled delegates, its voice resonating not just through speakers, but seemingly within the minds of all present. "Esteemed beings of the galaxy," it began, its tone both gentle and commanding, I am Sentinel-078, a guardian of the Eternal Fleet. We have watched over this galaxy for 10 million years, preparing for this moment. The threat we face is real, and it is imminent. The hologram shifted, showing vivid images of the Void Devourer's approach, of worlds going dark, of the unfathomable scale of the cosmic horror bearing down upon them. Many delegates recoiled in fear, while others leaned forward, captivated. Humanity ascended beyond physical form eons ago. Sentinel-078 continued, but they did not abandon this galaxy. They left behind not just a fleet, but a legacy, a belief that life, in all its diverse forms, is worth preserving. They believed that when faced with extinction, the myriad species of this galaxy would set aside their differences and stand united. The Guardian's form seemed to expand, filling the chamber with a soft, warm light. We do not come as conquerors or rulers. We come as guardians, as the caretakers of humanity's last gift to the galaxy. But we cannot face this threat alone. The Eternal Fleet is powerful, but it is the unity of all sentient life that will ultimately determine our fate. As Sentinel-078's words sank in, an uneasy quiet fell over the chamber. It was Arch-Arbiter Zonthar who finally broke the silence. "What you ask? It is unprecedented," the cephalopod rumbled. "Never in our history has the galaxy united under a single banner." "Perhaps," Lyrics interjected, stepping forward, "that is precisely why we must do so now. We stand at a crossroads of cosmic proportions. United, we have a chance. Divided, we fall." The chamber erupted into debate once more, but this time, there was a different tone to the discussions. Fear was giving way to determination, suspicion to cautious hope. As the deliberations continued, Lyrics felt a gentle touch on her shoulder. She turned to see Thorn and Vex beside her, their faces, or in Vex's case, his sensory array, showing a mix of pride and concern. "You did well, friend," Thorn rumbled softly. "But this is just the beginning." Vex's metallic scales shimmered in agreement. "Indeed, the real challenge lies ahead. Even if we achieve unity here, translating it into effective action against the Void Devourers will be problematic." Lyrics nodded, her compound eyes reflecting the swirling holographic displays. "One step at a time, my friends. One step at a time." As the hours wore on, a consensus began to form. It was Ambassador Lyra who formally proposed the formation of a unified Galactic Defense Council, with representatives from all willing species working in concert with the Guardians of the Eternal Fleet. The vote, when it came, was not unanimous. Several isolationist species abstained, and a few, like the Vargan Imperium, voted against, but an overwhelming majority agreed. The galaxy would stand together. As the newly formed Galactic Defense Council began to take shape, Sentinel-078 approached Lyrics, Thorn, and Vex. "Your role is more crucial than ever," the Guardian said, its energy form pulsing with what might have been pride. "You will be our bridge to the Council, helping to coordinate our efforts and ensure that the diverse needs and capabilities of all species are considered." Lyrics felt the weight of responsibility settle upon her, but also a surge of determination. They had come so far from being simple archaeologists. Now, they stood at the forefront of the greatest alliance in galactic history. As if to underscore the urgency of their mission, alarms suddenly blared throughout the chamber. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing a terrifying sight: the first tendrils of the Void Devourers breaching the galaxy's outer rim. "It begins," Sentinel-078 intoned, its voice grave. Arch-Arbiter Zonthar rose to his full, impressive height. "Then we shall meet it head-on. For too long we have bickered amongst ourselves. No more. Today we stand as one galaxy, one people, united against the dark." A cheer went up from the assembled delegates. A chorus of diverse voices joined in common purpose. As Lyrics watched the newfound allies begin to mobilize, she clutched the Wayfinder, which hung from a chain around her neck. Its soft glow seemed to pulse in time with the beat of her hearts. The alliance was formed. The stage was set. Now they would face the greatest threat in cosmic history, with humanity's legacy lighting the way forward. The true test was about to begin. The onslaught. The vastness of space erupted into chaos as the void devourers breached the galaxy's outer rim. What was once an inky canvas dotted with stars now writhed with tendrils of absolute darkness, each movement extinguishing countless suns. Aboard the Prometheus, flagship of the Eternal Fleet, Dr. Lyrics Zant watched in horror as entire systems winked out of existence on the galactic map. Beside her, Thorn Blacklaw's massive paws gripped the command console, his ursine features set in grim determination. Vex Ouroboros, his serpentine body coiled tightly, interfaced directly with the ship's systems, processing data at incredible speeds. "This is beyond anything we could have imagined," Lyrics whispered, her antennae quivering. Sentinel 078's energy form pulsed with urgency. The void devourers are not merely consuming matter and energy, the Guardian explained, its voice resonating through their minds. They're unraveling the very fabric of space-time. Every world they consume makes them stronger, harder to stop. Thorn growled, a sound that reverberated through the bridge. "Then we hit them now, with everything we've got." As if in response to his words, the Eternal Fleet sprang into action. Tens of thousands of ships, each a masterpiece of technology beyond comprehension, moved in perfect synchronization. Beams of pure energy lanced out, carving swaths through the encroaching darkness. For a moment, it seemed as if the combined might of humanity's legacy might be enough. The void devourers recoiled, their advance momentarily halted. But then, with a surge that defied description, they pushed back. By the cosmic core, Vex hissed, his metallic scales bristling with alarm. They're adapting, evolving in real time to counteract our weapons. Across the galaxy, the newly formed alliance fought with desperate valor. Ships of 1,000 designs, crewed by beings of myriad forms, stood shoulder to shoulder with the Eternal Fleet. But for every tendril of darkness they severed, two more took its place. On the fringes of a besieged star system, Ambassador Lyra's crystalline form shimmered with effort as she coordinated the evacuation of a doomed world. "We can't hold them much longer," she communicated to the Prometheus. "We need reinforcements." But reinforcements were scarce. Every ship, every warrior was already committed to the fight. As Lyrics watched the battles unfold across multiple fronts, a creeping sense of despair began to take hold. How could they hope to stand against a force that consumed entire galaxies? Suddenly, the wayfinder around her neck began to pulse with an intense energy. Lyrics gasped, nearly dropping the artifact as visions flooded her mind. Glimpses of vast machines hidden in the hearts of stars, of energies beyond mortal comprehension, of humanity's final, desperate gambit. "Sentinel," she cried out, her voice thick with the weight of revelation. "The Wayfinder, it's showing me something. I think I know what we need to do." The Guardian's form coalesced near her, its energy pulsing with curiosity and hope. "Show me," it commanded gently. As Lyrics shared her vision, understanding dawned across the bridge. Thorn's eyes widened in awe, while Vex's sensory arrays quivered with excitement. "The Nexus points," Sentinel 078 breathed, its voice filled with wonder. "Of course, humanity's final gift, hidden in plain sight all along." Vex, processing the information at lightning speed, explained to the others. "They're cosmic fulcrums, points where the fabric of space-time is at its most malleable. If we can activate them simultaneously, we can create a resonance cascade." Lyrics finished, her scientific mind racing with the possibilities. A wave of energy that could disrupt the void devourers at their most fundamental level. Hope, fragile but bright, blossomed on the bridge of the Prometheus, but it was tempered by the realization of what such a plan would entail. "The Nexus points are scattered across the galaxy," Thorn rumbled, his tactical mind already grappling with the logistics. "Many of them deep in void devourer-controlled space, Reaching them all in time will require sacrifice, Sentinel 078 finished solemnly. But it may be our only chance. The plan was relayed to the Galactic Defense Council. Despite the immense risk, the decision was unanimous. They would commit everything to this final, desperate gambit. What followed was a series of battles that would be etched into the annals of galactic history for eons to come. Fleets threw themselves at the void. Devourers in suicidal charges, buying time and space for specially equipped ships to reach the nexus points. Heroes were born and lost in the span of moments, entire civilizations sacrificing themselves to hold the line. Lyrics, Thorn, and Vex found themselves split up, each tasked with leading a mission to activate a nexus point. Their journeys took them to the hearts of dying stars, the event horizons of black holes, and places where the very laws of physics broke down. On a world being actively consumed by the Void Devourers, Thorn stood his ground, buying time for the activation sequence with nothing but his bare claws and indomitable will. Vex, his synthetic body pushed beyond its limits, interfaced with an alien megastructure older than the galaxy itself, coaxing it to life for one final task. And Lyrics, guided by the pulsing energy of the Wayfinder, navigated the Prometheus through a maze of space-time distortions that threatened to tear the ship apart with each passing second. As the final pieces fell into place and the galaxy held its collective breath, Lyrics found herself back on the bridge of the Prometheus, battered, exhausted, but alive. Thorn and Vex, having survived their own harrowing missions, stood beside her. Sentinel 078's form expanded, connecting with the other Guardians across the galaxy. "It's time," the being announced, its voice echoing with the weight of 10 million years of preparation. Lyrics clutched the Wayfinder, feeling the artifact pulse in sync with the cosmic energies building around them. Thorn placed a massive, comforting paw on her shoulder, while Vex's coils hummed with anticipation. "Whatever happens," Lyrics said softly, looking at her friends, at the beings who had become closer than family through this crucible, "it has been an honor." As one, across the vastness of the galaxy, the nexus points flared to life. A wave of energy beyond comprehension burst forth, rippling through space-time itself. The Void Devourers, for the first time in their unfathomable existence, screamed. The bridge of the Prometheus was bathed in blinding light as the wave washed over them. Lyrics felt a sensation of falling, of being unmade and remade in the same instant. The last thing she saw before consciousness fled was the Wayfinder, glowing with an inner fire that seemed to connect her to something vast and ancient and achingly familiar. Then, darkness. When Lyrics opened her eyes again, the universe had changed. But whether for better or worse, she couldn't yet tell. All she knew was that the true nature of humanity's legacy was about to be revealed, and with it, the fate of all life in the galaxy. The resurrection. Consciousness returned to Dr. Lyrics Zant in waves, each one bringing with it a flood of sensations and memories. The cold, hard floor of the Prometheus's bridge pressed against her exoskeleton. The acrid smell of fried circuitry filled her antennae. And the Wayfinder, still clutched tightly in her hands, pulsed with a warm, comforting energy. As her compound eyes focused, she saw Thorn and Vex stirring nearby. The Ursine warrior groaned, shaking his massive head, while the synthetic serpent's coils twitched as his systems rebooted. Did it work? Lyrics managed to croak, her voice hoarse. The answer came not from her friends, but from the view screen that flickered to life before them. The sight that greeted them was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The void of space was alive with color and light. The dark tendrils of the Void Devourers were still visible, but they were fragmented, writhing in what could only be described as agony. And surrounding them, permeating the very fabric of space itself, was a luminescent web of energy, pulsing with a rhythm that seemed hauntingly familiar. By the cosmic core, Vex whispered, his sensors whirring as they struggled to process the data. The Nexus wave, it didn't just disrupt the Void Devourers, it's It's rewriting the fundamental structure of spacetime. Sentinel-078 materialized beside them, its energy form flickering erratically. Not rewriting. The Guardian corrected, its voice filled with a mixture of awe and trepidation. Awakening. Before they could ask for clarification, the Wayfinder in Lyric's hands began to glow with an intensity that forced them to shield their eyes. The artifact rose into the air, spinning faster and faster until it was a blur of light and motion. Suddenly, a beam of pure energy shot forth from the Wayfinder, connecting with the luminescent web outside. The bridge of the Prometheus was filled with a blinding light, and when it faded, they were no longer alone. Surrounding them were beings of pure energy, their forms vaguely humanoid but constantly shifting and flowing. They radiated an aura of ancient wisdom and immense power. The ascended humans. Thorn breathed, his usual bravado replaced by reverent whisper. One of the beings stepped forward, or rather, flowed forward, its essence coalescing into a more definite form. When it spoke, its voice resonated not just in their ears, but in the very core of their beings. Greetings, children of the galaxy. We are what remains of humanity, and we have slumbered for far too long. The being's gaze, if it could be called that, fell upon Lyrics and the Wayfinder. You have done well, little one. Your courage, your unity, your unwavering spirit in the face of cosmic horror. These are the qualities we hoped to see when we left our legacy behind. Lyrics's mind reeled with questions, but it was Sentinel-078 who found its voice first. Creators, the Guardian said, its tone reverent, we have safeguarded your legacy as best we could. But the threat, it's beyond anything we imagined. The ascended human's form pulsed with what might have been a sad smile. The Void Devourers are indeed a grave threat, one that has plagued the cosmos since its inception. But they are not invincible. In our ascended state, we have gained knowledge and perspective beyond mortal comprehension. And now, thanks to your actions, we have the means to end their rampage once and for all. As if on cue, the luminescent web outside flared with renewed energy. The fragmented tendrils of the Void Devourers began to disintegrate, their essence absorbed into the pulsing network of light. The Nexus Wave, Vex realized, his synthetic voice filled with awe. It wasn't just a weapon, it was a key. The ascended human nodded. A key to unlock the slumbering potential of the cosmos itself. For too long, the universe has been a passive victim of the Void Devourer's hunger. No more. You have awakened its consciousness, its will to survive and thrive. Outside the Prometheus, the transformation continued. Where once there was empty space, new stars were being born. Planets coalesced from cosmic dust, life blooming upon them in fast forward. And through it all, the luminescent web pulsed, guiding and nurturing this explosive creation. But what of the Galactic Alliance? Thorn asked, ever mindful of the bigger picture. The civilizations that fought and sacrificed so much. The ascended human's form brightened. They have proven themselves worthy inheritors of the cosmos. As we once did, they will now have the chance to grow, to explore, to ascend. But they will not be alone. With a gesture, the being summoned a holographic display of the galaxy. Lyrics, Thorn, and Vex gasped as they saw the extent of the transformation. The Void Devourers were gone, replaced by swaths of newborn stars and revitalized systems. And at key points throughout the galaxy, pulsing beacons of light marked the presence of ascended human consciousnesses. We will guide, but not rule, the being explained. The time has come for us to take a more active role in the cosmos, to share our knowledge and help life flourish. But the future of this galaxy, indeed, of all galaxies, will be shaped by the collective will of all sentient beings. Lyrics felt overwhelmed by the magnitude of what was happening, but also filled with a sense of hope and purpose she had never known before. What happens now? She asked, her voice small but steady. The ascended human's form seemed to smile. Now, dear ones, the real work begins. The Void Devourers were but one of many cosmic threats. As life flourishes and expands, new challenges will arise. But together, mortal and ascended, organic and synthetic, we will face them. The being turned its attention to Sentinel-078. Faithful Guardian, you and your kin have served your purpose well. Now we offer you a choice: to join us in ascension, or to continue your role as protectors and guides for the younger races. Sentinel-078's form pulsed with emotion. We would be honored to continue our duty, creators. There is still much work to be done. The ascended human nodded in approval before addressing Lyrics, Thorn, and Vex. And you, brave explorers, who started this journey as simple archaeologists and became the catalysts for cosmic revolution. What path will you choose? The three friends exchanged glances, a lifetime of shared experiences and unspoken understanding passing between them in an instant. Lyrics stepped forward, the wayfinder glowing softly in her hands. We choose to explore, to learn, to bridge the gap between the ascended and the corporeal. There are so many stories to be told, so much knowledge to be shared. So be it, the ascended human said, its form beginning to fade. The wayfinder is yours, a key to the cosmic network we have created. Use it wisely, and know that you carry with you the legacy of humanity and the hopes of all life in the cosmos. As the ascended beings disappeared, merging with the luminescent web that now permeated space, Lyrics, Thorn, and Vex found themselves once again alone on the bridge of the Prometheus. But they were forever changed, imbued with a sense of purpose that transcended their individual species and cultures. The view screen showed a galaxy reborn, teeming with life and possibility. Countless civilizations were even now awakening to a new reality, one where the boundaries between science and magic, between the physical and the metaphysical, had been irrevocably blurred. Lyrics clutched the wayfinder, feeling its warm pulse synchronized with the beat of her hearts. "Well, my friends," she said, turning to Thorn and Vex with a smile that conveyed both excitement and determination, "shall we see what stories this new cosmos has to tell?" Thorn's bearish grin and Vex's shimmering coils were all the answer she needed, as the Prometheus's engines hummed to life, charting a course into the unknown. They knew that this was not an end, but a beginning. The legacy of humanity had been revealed, transcended, and transformed, and in its wake, a new era of cosmic exploration, cooperation, and evolution was dawning. The echoes of eternity would resound through the cosmos, a testament to the indomitable spirit of life itself, forever changing the face of existence as they knew it.